old lady. Don't you think it's getting time for you to stop faking being my mom and just leave me alone? You really thought you could just meet my fiancé before the wedding saying you're my mom like that? When did I ever say it was okay for you to talk to him in the first place?
Rin, what has gotten into you? I understand that I'm not your mother by blood or anything, but I've been with you for 10 years now, ever since you were in middle school. I may just be your stepmother, but I still believe I have the right to meet that man.
In other words, you mean you're a fake, right?
That's not at all what I mean by being your stepmother. I have made sure to take care of you for the longest time now, like your mother. And at your age, now you should be able to understand that I've always wanted the best for you, right? Even though you were just some kid that your dad brought along with him when the two of us started to take things seriously, I made sure to think of you as my own.
That's nasty to hear from some old woman. Acting like you're so amazing for doing that, even though you never had to. You even went and acted all high and mighty around him by saying you're my mom. That's so freaking embarrassing. I had to explain everything to him about you after that, and it was a total waste of my valuable time.
But even your fiancé was willing to understand me. He didn't even bother that I'm your stepmother calling myself your mom. The only person that seems to be all worked up about this right now would be you, Rin. Now end that attitude, please. This has been the structure of our family for a decade now. Maybe even thank me for putting up with you all this time.
Thank you for that? I'll have you know that I'm never going to be thanking you for anything you've done. The thankfulness I have for you is non-existent. So there you go.
I don't think that right now is the greatest time to be saying such things to me, Rin.
I have to ask, do you actually plan on coming to my wedding?
Huh? What are you saying? Why do you think I wouldn't go? That'd be completely strange of me to not come to my own daughter's wedding, right?
Well, only if I was your actual daughter. But you don't have any daughters, do you? So, that's why I'm asking you to stay away from my wedding, okay?
Do you think because I'm not that forward with myself you can just get away with saying that? Talking down to me because I'm your stepmother, even though I was glad to make someone I never asked for my own. Don't you think you're going a little too far right now, Rin? I have been trying my best with you for these past 10 years, so hearing you say all these horrible things to me really hurts.
If you do end up coming to my wedding, you won't have a seat prepared for you. I have no reason to prepare a seat for someone that's faking being my mother, right?
Calling me a fake, though? I have always wanted to be like your real mom. After marrying your father years ago, I've done everything I could to show you that I care about you as well. Can you please respect me just a bit more as your stepmother? I've been raising you for a decade now, Rin. What's so bad about having me at your wedding?
Well, I just recommend that you don't come. Because I don't see you as my real mom. All you'll do is embarrass yourself by coming, so I would definitely recommend staying away. Because, once again, you're not my mom. Just some secondary wife, right?
You really are just having a blast saying these things about me, huh? Ever since I married your father, everything has been smooth sailing. And up until recently, you and I have never been at arms with one another. Why have you started to act this way towards me now?
That's because I finally realized that you're just a fake and that's it. Everyone knows that the real thing is way better to have around than some wannabe.
I'm starting to see that you really enjoy calling me a fake. Well, I suppose there's nothing else I can really say to you over text right now. I just hope you take a little time before your wedding to calm down a bit and rethink having me at your wedding. I'd like you to look at things as though you're an adult.
Do not come to my wedding today. You are just a stranger now, so don't show up.
What are you talking about now? Today is one of the most important days of your life, right? You are my stepdaughter after all, so I'm going to have to come see you. Will you allow me to please be there to celebrate your big day?
I asked my real mom to come today, and so there's no seat here for you.
Huh? What do you mean you asked your real mom to come?
My real mom is coming. Actually, I've recently been getting back in touch with my real mom after she started texting me out of the blue.
Huh? When you say your mom, you mean your actual mom?
What else would I mean by that? So, your life living as my stepmother is over now. I'm going to be cutting ties with you now. And besides, there's only enough room here for one mom, and so it's been reserved for her. I mean, why wouldn't I have my real mother here as opposed to some fake?
You really asked that person to come to your wedding? Are you really okay?
What do you mean by that one? This is my own flesh and blood mother. Of course I'm okay with her coming to my biggest day.
Did you forget about how she left you behind in middle school and got up and just vanished from you and your dad? You had a terrible time back then, right?
Shut up already! I don't want some stranger talking to me about my life. My mom had a lot of things going on in her life, so she had no other choice at the time. And she's the only one that truly understands what hardships she had to face then. So I'm going to make you shut up by ending things between us right now. I'm sure that my mom and dad will get back together with one another, and today will be the start of that.
I don't think that'll ever happen, Rin.
Compared to you, my mom's a way better mother. Well, I guess there was no comparing you both, though, because I've never once seen you as my mother.
Is that so? Rin, I completely understand how you feel about me now. After all the blood and sweat I gave to raise you as my own, you have made things very clear after all the horrible things you've told me recently. But I don't mind. After this, there will be nothing left for the two of us to talk about.
Just remember that I only prepared one seat, and that's been saved for my real mom. So don't bother trying to come. I never thought of you as my mom, you fake. So hurry up and get out of here!
So that's what you really want then, right?
All those that have been fake need to leave.
Well, whatever happens after this is not going to be my problem then.
Good.
I'll do the same as you and make this the last time I ever talk to you. But of course, there was never a close relationship between us in the first place, so this won't be so bad for me. Goodbye forever, Rin. I hope you have a happy wedding.
Things are out of control right now. Come and help me, Lori! Where are you at right now?
Excuse me, who is this?
Stop trying to make stupid jokes with me, Lori! Hurry up and get back to the wedding! If things keep going like this, I'll be in huge trouble.
Are you really trying to screw with me or something? Why would I have any reason to come back there?
Huh? Why?
I'm finished with you, Rin. And I even did as you asked and went back home. We had last talked an hour ago, so what did you think I'd have done in that time? What do you want from me now? You understand that I don't need you anymore, right?
Lori, please! I'm bawling my eyes out right now! Please, answer the phone call for me.
Huh? What are you even talking about? You and I are complete strangers now, right? Oh, wait. We've always been complete strangers. So after all that fuss you made about me, why would you think of me as anyone besides a stranger?
Wait, but I'm seriously crying a lot right now. Can't you see that I'm in a terrible pinch right now?
I cannot.
What?
And even if I could see that you're in trouble, I'd do nothing about it. You having a fit right now over something has nothing to do with me and my life.
I get it. I'll tell you outright. My real mom is crazy.
Oh? What do you mean by her being crazy?
Some messed up woman came into my wedding out of nowhere. When I had met with her before, she was never that way, but she began going through all the food at the buffet like a maniac, and now she's hitting on all the men here.
That's even worse than I was thinking she'd be like. But I guess it can happen.
And now my fiancé's whole family and all my friends know that someone like her is my real mom. Right now, I'm so embarrassed by everything she's done.
Did you never know that your real mom was that kind of woman? She had started talking with you again after so long, so I assumed you understood the person she is.
I didn't have any memories of her, and she started to text me again asking to meet up. And then we went out once to eat and chat about life, but I never thought that she'd turn out to be some lunatic. Even my fiancé himself was disgusted by what he saw from her, and at the moment he's thinking about canceling the wedding. Now the security is coming to deal with her. And Dad got so upset with me asking why I'd invited her to my wedding and ended up leaving before the wedding even started. What should I do right now?
You're asking me that? Why would you ask me?
I let my dad know the reason why I didn't want you to come to my wedding. But I never wanted him to get upset with me and leave over it. Go and explain all of this to him. He said if he doesn't get a good explanation for all of this, he's going to be done with me as his daughter.
Well, of course he'd do that.
Why are you acting like this doesn't matter to you? Do you not see how huge of a deal this is for me right now? He was even supposed to help pay for this wedding and other things, but now that's never going to happen. What should I do, Lori?
You asked me to never come to that wedding, right, Rin? So how am I supposed to tell you what to do now? I think your best choice now is to just embrace the reality you've just made.
Huh? What do you mean, embrace this reality?
I'm saying there's no turning back for you now. Did you never realize that I was the one paying for your wedding, as well as for you both to go on your honeymoon?
You were. My dad wasn't going to be the one doing that?
I was. We'd even talked about this at dinner, but as usual, you never listened to anything we said. Well, I'm not paying for you guys anymore, so you can go ahead and afford all of that by yourself.
Huh? What?
You are nothing to me anymore, Rin, and so there's no reason for me to pay for you, right? I don't even want to hand any more money to you, so don't expect anything. You're going to have to pay it all off yourself, so after this, make sure to work hard for all that money.
Wait a second, Lori. A lot of the people at the wedding are starting to leave, and I think the wedding has totally been canceled now. And my fiancé's family is all really pissed off. And everyone is asking for me to return all the presents I had been gifted from them. And if you're not going to be paying anything for this wedding, then I'm going to be getting into some really bad debt.
And that's all nothing I care about. Do your best to work hard and pay all of that off. I've also made sure to cancel your guys' honeymoon trip for you.
Huh? Are you serious?
If you really still want to go with your upset husband, or alone, then you can pay for that with your own money, right? I have no plans to ever fork money over to you again, so that's your only option. Take some responsibility for the reality you've just created for yourself. Now, I'll be going.
Wait, Mom!
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I meant Lori. I'm not sure what has gotten into me recently. But I had really just wanted to be with my real mother again. And maybe that's what made me start acting out against you, like you weren't the one that cared for me. After all, you were the one that stuck with me and made sure I was raised well. And so I still believe that you're my mom. You should be okay with me still calling you Mom, right? Please, let's just go back to being a close family with one another.
Huh? Why are you trying to act as though you've done nothing horrible these past few weeks? It's not going to happen, Rin.
What?
You have really pissed me off with the attitude you've given me recently. And so I've had enough of whatever you thought was okay to say and do to me. I cannot believe that the girl I thought was so cute and kind could turn out the way you are now. So believe me when I say that you are a complete stranger to me now.
You're going cold to me just like that? Only a few hours ago you believed that I was still your daughter, right?
Well, when you decided to make things the worst they could be between you and I with that gross attitude you had, I was at a loss for words. I'm pretty sure you and I will never see one another again, so have a great life. You and that fiancé of yours try hard to rekindle whatever love you guys had. Well, as long as that's even possible now. Go find your real mom and try and ask her for help, okay? The fake will now be leaving your life forever.
I was never being serious when I called you a fake. Forgive me, please. I can't make it on my own without my mom. Have you just forgotten about the past 10 years we've had together?
Well, after the way you've treated me, I thought it was completely fine to forget about all that. Really, I don't ever want to see or hear from you again, and your dad has pretty much cut ties with you now.
If the both of you are gone, then what am I going to do?
Isn't this great? You got to finally meet your real mom again. A woman that loves to spend money and is ridden with debt. She's even the type where if she gets the chance, she'll steal money from others. Well, go find her and ask for her to take care of you now. Goodbye, Rin. In the end, Rin was left dealing with a very upset fiancé, or should I say husband, since a week before they had handed in their wedding papers. He had had enough of her and her real mother, and so he began to move towards divorcing her. But Rin no longer had a home to go back to, and so she really was in a pinch like she'd said. As for all the money she'd had in her savings, it vanished into paying off the cancellation fees for the wedding. And now she's stuck dealing with a mother that keeps asking for her to spare her some cash. Rin tried to get Lori to help her, but Lori really was finished with her, and so she ended up blocking Rin and doing as Rin had originally asked of her. I'm sure that Rin is left wondering what she could possibly do now, but her best bet would be to listen to exactly what Lori had told her and find a job to start working non-stop to make back whatever money she's lost. And if she plans on keeping the money she makes, it's best she gets rid of that crazy mom of hers that'll probably suck her dry in no time. But as for Lori, her and her husband have made the right choice in blocking Rin out of their life and will no longer have to worry about whatever problems she gets herself into.
Vanessa, I heard about this from Mom. Are you really going to be getting married? That has to be a lie, right? There's no reason you should be able to get married to anyone right now.
I'm not sure why you think I couldn't get married to anyone at this time, but I am getting married, and I am planning on sending invitations to all the family here soon. So if you don't mind coming to the wedding, I'd love to see you there.
Huh? So you really are getting married then, aren't you? Stop screwing around.
What about this means that I'm screwing around?
You know that I'm your older sister, right? Older sister. So why do you, the younger sister, get to be married before I do? Normally, people would let their older siblings get married first before making their move.
What do you mean by that? I didn't think there was any normalcy to when siblings should be getting married. I just assumed it was based on timing, and that's it. I don't mean to get married before you as an insult or anything. I just happened to find a man that I wanted to live the rest of my life with and marry soon.
Do you really think it's okay for you to be happy with your soulmate before I am?
Huh? I don't get what you keep going on about. I didn't think there was anything wrong with me being happy with the man of my dreams. And I never related me being in this position before you, Emily. I'm not even married yet, and I'm still just as happy as I'll be after the marriage. So explain to me what you mean by me being happy before you with my soulmate.
You stop thinking about marrying that man right now. No, you're not marrying that man. Not until I have a man of my own that I'm married to first.
Emmy, would you quit acting like a child right now? Are you acting this way because you're jealous of me getting married? If you are thinking that, it's a total waste of your energy, so just don't worry about me. I think you're better off using all that energy finding a way to make yourself happy. Whether that's with another man or on your own.
Jealous? Why would I be jealous of your marriage? I am just disgusted by the fact that you're not playing by the rules.
What rules are you even talking about, though?
It's always been that the oldest sister is the first one to get married and leave the family. That's what I'm talking about.
That is not any kind of story or rule that I've ever heard of. What century ago was that rule ever a thing? Seems to me like something from way back, so you should just cool it and let me do what I want to do. And if that means you not coming to my wedding, then that's fine with me and you can stay away. I don't want any bad feelings between us, so just stop trying with me. See ya. It looks like Emmy's pretty upset with me right now.
Sure seems that way, doesn't it? But I had to tell her eventually that you'd be getting married. So there really was no way of us avoiding this.
Why is she so upset with me, though? Wasn't she supposed to be getting married herself?
She probably hasn't told you anything about it, but her and her fiancé broke up.
What?
The man she was with wanted to borrow her money. And so he did. Borrow a lot and ran off. Which left Emmy in a rough spot to the point she left her job. And so for a whole year now, she's been living back at home with us here.
So that's probably the reason she's having such a tantrum over me. I can understand her a bit more now. But although it's really sad that something like that had to happen to her, there's no reason for her to be taking out her feelings on me. I didn't do anything to her.
Right.
So at the moment, she's back at her home doing nothing at all with herself.
She's trying to find someone that she can get married to. But as for any sort of job, there is none.
I see. But I think it's not healthy for her to be getting all worked up over my marriage. I'm a bit worried now that she might do something outrageous at my wedding if she's in a mood.
I would really like for her to toughen up a bit and get back on both her feet. Now she's going to be living in our house forever if she doesn't do something with herself. I've even told her how I feel about that.
Well, let's just hope that she doesn't plan to do anything before or at my wedding.
I'd sure love to think that she'd stop taking out her frustrations on you. But who knows what she'll do?
I already told her that it's okay if she doesn't come to the wedding, so I'm sure she'll take me up on that and stay away. I'll try not to make her more upset than she already is.
Sucks to see that the wonderful wedding dress you plan to wear is totally ruined now. And just before the beginning of your wedding. Huh. I guess you'll have to cancel the wedding today, right?
What are you talking about? What wedding dress are you talking about? What is that picture that you just sent me of?
That would be your wedding dress. I made it completely black by pouring ink all over it.
That's my dress?
I'm sure it's hard to tell now that it's messed up. But you have no hopes of having a wedding now in that kind of dress, right? I'm going to make sure that I'm the one becoming happy before you can.
So, you did all that with the hopes of having my wedding canceled?
That's exactly right. I'm glad all has gone to plan for me so far.
And you thought that you were at the location of my wedding?
Huh? What did you say? The location of your wedding today was written on the invitation you sent. So I made sure to show up early and ruin that dress before anyone came into the dressing room. I wanted to keep it as a surprise for you to see soon, but couldn't keep myself from telling you about it. Now you can see that it's completely unacceptable for you to get married before your older sister. After having your wedding dress turned completely black, your wedding is over.
The wedding I'm having today is at a church, though.
Huh?
I see that you're excited to hear that my wedding is canceled, but my wedding is being held at a church, and my dress is nothing like that one in the picture. I didn't even rent a dress for the wedding because Mom will be letting me wear hers.
What are you going on about? You're lying, right?
Why would you think that I'd be lying to you? I think the dress you've just ruined is some stranger's. Ruining someone you don't even know's dress? Do you understand what might happen to you now?
What are you talking about, Vanessa? This has to be your dress. I made sure that this place was the exact place you had on your invitation.
Maybe you thought that you read the address right, but I'm not holding my wedding outside today. I will have mine in a church, and I don't plan to have a dress that big on for the wedding. The wedding will only be inside this church, although I'm aware that some weddings might take place in the courtyard outside of here.
Wait a second. I have no idea what you're trying to tell me right now.
Well, just know that that dress you've ruined is not the one I'm going to wear today. And so with that, whatever happens to you now has nothing to do with me. I have a wedding to prepare for now, so you can figure out what to do on your own now. Also, after seeing how screwed up you are by doing all of that out of jealousy, I'd like you to never come around me again. So go ahead and handle all of that on your own. And never talk to me again.
You hold on, Vanessa. Why are you going off on me like this right now? I did all of that to your dress, so you should be freaking out right now. I never heard anything about you having your wedding in a church or that you'd wear Mom's dress.
I never did mention any of that to you, and I'm very lucky now that I hadn't after seeing what mess you got yourself into. I'm going to completely cut ties with you now. So never come around me or talk to me again. I can't even believe you'd try something like that with your own little sister because of your jealousy.
So, this is seriously someone else's dress. I really thought that it'd be yours.
How many times do I have to tell you that's not my dress for you to understand? Do you need me to say it in another language for you?
Stop that! You can't even be upset with me now because this is all on you.
What? Why is it all on me?
If you'd known that it wasn't your dress, then why didn't you tell me sooner? You should have told me that you'd be wearing Mom's dress the last time we talked so that I could have ruined her dress instead. So this is all your fault.
You stop with all that BS right now. You are nothing more than a total prick of a sister right now.
Huh? A prick? What?
I'm not going to let you go off on me telling me that what you've done is my fault somehow. I have nothing to do with your mental disabilities. You've always been that way. Anytime something doesn't go your way, you blame it all on me. You think that you can just keep running away from your responsibilities like you're a 3-year-old? Well, you're in your late 30s now, so stop acting like a child or we'll have to put you in an institution.
But I didn't do anything wrong. It's all of you that have been doing things wrong.
Huh? All of us? So you're telling me it's all our fault that you are jobless and can't find anyone willing to marry a woman with childlike behavioral issues?
I say you all, but primarily it's all your fault.
Oh, come on now. I haven't done anything to cause you to act like a loser. All you think to say is that this is all my fault, but have you ever thought of replacing me with you? I haven't had anything to do with your life. The only thing I've ever done is live my own life. You have been the one to work your own jobs and the one in charge of your own happiness. And the reason that you're in such a crappy place right now is all due to yourself. It's not Mom or Dad's fault. It's not my fault. It's nobody but your own fault. So stop acting like a goddamn child. You are 33 years old now, so get off your butt and make a life of your own, you idiot.
You didn't have to say all of that to me. You're going to make me fall apart again. Why are you saying all of that to me? You have no right to be saying things like that about me. Do you really think it's okay to talk to your older sister like that?
Do you think it's okay to act that way because you're my older sister? Shut the hell up.
It's messed up that you'd talk to me that way, though.
Then let me ask you this. Do you think it's okay to spill ink all over some random person's dress like that? Maybe I'm not the one that's as messed up as you think.
I told you I didn't think it was some stranger's wedding dress. If I'd known that, I would have never spilled ink all over it. I was dang sure that that was going to be your wedding dress today.
Wait. It doesn't even matter whose dress it was in the first place. You are messed up for doing that all the same. If anything, you would have been in even more trouble had it been my dress. I would have made sure that you got sued in court.
Sue me? Your own family?
After showing me the person you really are, you're not family to me. You're not even like a sister to me anymore, so I'd be totally fine making you suffer. The fact that you thought it was funny to ruin someone else's big day, that's something most people would never even think of doing, so you're like a monster at this point. And another thing, the wedding that'll be taking place outside the church today in that courtyard is of a girl whose father is the sheriff of this town.
Huh?
We had seen them a while back when coming here to set up our wedding, and they mentioned that to us. The soon-to-be bride mentioned her father being high up in the police force or something like that. And I think I even spoke to him once.
What the hell? Now that's a joke. There's no way something like that could be true. Stop trying to make me freak out anymore.
Well, you'll find out the truth eventually, I'm sure. I know that you're at someone else's wedding location right now, but if it's of the girl whose dad's a sheriff, then you'll be in for a great time.
Stop trying to mess with me! Even if it is her dress, I've already started running away, so they'll never find me. The moment I fully realized it wasn't your dress, I ran from there. I didn't want to see the end of how badly I screwed up that stranger's day. Just make sure that you don't say anything to them if you see them.
Oh, it does seem like it was the wedding in the courtyard that you happened to mess up.
What? Huh?
So I think I'll let them know what happened. I'll try my best to make the story sound credible. I'll tell them that even though you're my older sister, you had a deep jealousy that you couldn't control and thought you were ruining my wedding. All right, I just let them know all of that for you. And I think her parents are not taking it too well. They said something along the lines of having you not only pay for the wedding dress, but for the whole wedding itself.
Hold on, what? You went and told them just now. I just ran over a mile away now, and you're saying there was no point to it?
Did you really think you could run away from your mistakes this time? Whether it's today or a few days from now, they are going to find you and take you down. The dress she has seems like something with quite a price tag on it as well. And it wasn't just a rental, but a dress that she'd bought herself and had placed at the wedding. You really screwed up this time, Emmy.
Why are you laughing? Nothing about this is funny in any sense. Oh, wait. Well, what should I do now?
I am about to start my wedding, so I can't do anything for you. But I can already see her dad getting into his patrol car, and he called for some backup to start searching for you. And Mom and Dad just told me that you can do whatever you'd like to try and evade them, even mentioning that you should try punching one of the officers. That way you can spend some time in jail and away from us. It's really up to you now how you plan to take responsibility for this.
Wait. I can't be taken into custody by the police. I didn't think something this scary could happen to me. I just wanted you to feel the same pain I've been feeling all my life. Why did this have to happen?
Because you have messed up thoughts like that. Well, it seems like the only one that will be feeling the pain you've always been experiencing will be yourself.
But you and I are sisters, right? Do something about this and help me.
I can't do anything for you. You did all of this to yourself, and you have to answer for it. And you're an adult now, and in your 30s at that, so you can learn today what happens when you try and ruin someone else's day. Just remember that Mom, Dad, and I are all cutting ties with you. So never show your face to us again. Your lack of handling your own emotions has really done it to you this time. Now, have a great one. I hope they don't go easy on you, Emmy. In the end, Vanessa and her husband were able to have a wonderful wedding together with all their friends and family. And Emmy was caught by the police and the sheriff and taken away to somewhere that nobody knew of. After a few days and being given her phone back, she tried time and time again to get Vanessa to help her. But at that point, Vanessa was on her honeymoon and didn't look at her phone. And because of that, Vanessa was left to her own demise. However, after a few months had passed, Vanessa made a surprise visit to her parents' house and made it seem as though she had really grown up into a full adult. She had a job again, working on a factory line, but she didn't say much else to her mom about what she'd been experiencing on her own. I'm sure that whatever it was too troubling to have to tell anyone. But after that little visit with her parents, she left and never came back to them again. And I'm sure that's for the best, as nobody wanted her around anyway. Stacy, thank you for wanting to come to see us, as it seemed to make you happy, but next time can you make sure to let me know first? Coming out of nowhere like this makes it hard for me to match my schedule with the hospital's. Why? Why do I have to listen to you, Brianna, and match what I do with the plans you have? And you were able to come answer me immediately, so everything's fine now. I just wanted to come over to give you your gift for having a baby, so don't be so mouthy with me for trying my best. You really have all sorts of reasons for being the worst wife imaginable. Maybe you're starting to go crazy right now after having your baby? They say sometimes when a woman has her baby, she begins to have depression and go crazy because she's not carrying it anymore. You must be mental now, right? Anyway, you complaining to me about not respecting you and your schedule after handing you your gift was a mistake on your part. I'm sorry. Thank you for wanting to bring a gift. I'm happy that you happened to think of me while I was having the baby. Whatever. I'm starting to doubt you as a person, Brianna, because of the way you've handled this. Maybe I'll just turn around and head back home now so that I don't have to be stressed over you any longer. Stacy, I'm sorry for being a bit rude with you earlier, but don't you ever come around me and my son again. I've been thinking about things between us for a bit now, and I don't want you anywhere near us as I raise him. What is going on with you now, Brianna? Especially with a harsh attitude like that, I'm worried you really do need to see the psych ward. But anyway, you don't even have to ask me to stay away because I never planned on seeing you both again. That's true, you hate my guts as it is. But what you did today was unforgivable. Oh, and what could that have been? Don't start playing dumb now, please. The moment you came and saw us again, what exactly was it you said to my boy when you saw his face? You said that even though he's your oldest son's baby, he is not cute at all, and then laughed. Then you followed up by saying it must all be my genetics. You really just stood there making fun of your own grandchild after he was just born. Do you have a good enough reason for doing that? I just wanted to say what I thought was all. You're an ugly woman after all, and so the child you gave birth to happens to share the same traits as you. He looks just like you, and so me complimenting him the same way I'd compliment you is only natural, right? There's no need to be upset. That kid may be my grandchild, but he looks like a dang monkey. Also, today wasn't just about you coming to see us and your grandchild, right? The real reason you came to us was for more money. You're a rude one, aren't you? I had no reason to be there for your guys' money. How can you say that now? You came in and told us that after coming all this way to see a monkey, we should at least pay for your taxi ride home. And as you said that and I lay there in the hospital bed, you reached into my purse and took out $300. Well, why are you being so stingy right now, huh? I was being nice by coming out to see that kid, and so it's only fair that you pay for my means of transportation, right? You can't be so selfish when dealing with someone like me. I have to live off of what little social security I have left. I am once again sorry. My son woke up, and so I had to stop talking with you for a bit to care for him. But either way, I'm telling you that from now on, you're no longer invited to come see us. We've known for a while now that you've had troubles with money, and that's why we've been giving you an allowance. And we tried our best to stay quiet even though you'd been so rude to me about everything, but I can't take it anymore. I am the wife of your second oldest son, and he and I have been working hard for our son. And I was fine dealing with your rude remarks to me every now and then, but I assumed you'd lighten up about us when we had our baby boy. I had at least hoped that when you came to see him, you'd say how cute he is and open up to us a bit more. But I can see you just want to hate my baby and me now. I now see that you're not happy for us to have a baby, and that's fine, because I'm no longer dealing with you as my mother-in-law. You always have to make such a fuss. I even made sure to give you that gift. Does that not make you at least a little happy for me coming to see you guys? You really must be moneyless if you can't understand how precious that gift to you was. I can't believe my son chose to marry you. I can't even see you as anything other than a witch now. And it was because of that gift from you that I'm in a rage now. What the hell even was that? Can't you just stop yourself from picking on me at least once? In what world is giving 5 cents to someone after giving birth a good gift? Especially when it's coming from the mother-in-law. You have no reason to be complaining to me. I was very thoughtful giving you that even 5 cents as a gift. Maybe you could try thanking me for that. It's not like you deserve any more money after giving birth to that monkey. Well, then I'm going to stop giving you any more money as well. Huh? Giving me money? What are you on about? I know that my money is coming from my son. So you have no right as his crappy wife to be speaking for him. I know that you're good for absolutely nothing, Brianna. That's the whole reason why you can't even give birth to a half-decent-looking baby. If that thing grows up one day, it'll turn out to be nothing more than a waste crawling through our society. Phil, how much time do you have? I have something we really need to be talking about.
It's rare of you to text me this time of day. What's up?
Actually, today your mom came to the hospital to see our son.
What? She did? She was telling me that she didn't even want to see our boy. At least, that's what I remember her saying. So I guess in the end, she did want to see her grandchild.
No, that's not the reason. She didn't come all the way here to see our baby, but rather to take some more money from me.
Your money?
And if you want to hear more about it, she even said that our boy isn't cute at all while laughing about it. And as a gift to me for having the baby, she gave me 5 cents. And then she told me that since she came all that way to see us, she needed money for her taxi. And since I'm still in the hospital bed, she went and reached into my purse and took my money out of it.
What? She came there and made fun of our son? And she only gave you 5 cents as a gift? Does she not see how awful she's being right now? What the hell is that old bag thinking? She needs to go home or something. And wasn't the money in your purse the money that your parents gave to you in case you needed anything while in the hospital? You're telling me she just stole that from you? You sure did tell me when we needed to talk about this, huh? I'm still working at the moment, but we'll have a break very soon. During that time, can we talk more?
Sure, that's fine. Good luck with work.
Thanks for waiting on me. How are you feeling right now? You're staying relaxed, right?
I'm okay. And our baby just got finished drinking some milk, so he's sleeping next to me.
I see. Thank goodness. I'm so sorry for what's happened to you today. After she fell in love with the baby my older brother had, who ended up being a girl, I guess she just couldn't get behind us having a boy as our first child.
Well, she's had something against me for the longest time for not being a housewife like your older brother's wife, and so me working a job of my own must have started her hate towards me. Always telling me that my job is to be your wife and nothing else, all that kind of crap.
But I never thought that she'd pass on all that hate she has for you to our baby. I thought that things would get better after all the work we put in for this.
You don't have to feel sorry for anything, Phil. Nobody ever thought your mom could get any worse than she had been. But the moment I saw the gift that she gave me for giving birth, I had just had enough from her. And that's when I told her on accident that I never wanted her to see her grandchild again.
No, you were right to say something like that. And to make sure that our son grows up in a loving household, she doesn't need to be around him anymore.
What about the money we're giving her every month? I told her that I'd stop that as well. I'm sorry. I told her something without even thinking that might have made things more difficult. Now that I've calmed down, I think I overstepped things there.
You have nothing to apologize for, Brianna. You have every right in this world to be upset with my mom for making fun of our newborn boy. And so you fought back to protect him. So you don't need to be worried about what you did to Mom. How about we really do stop sending her money? After all, we're going to need more money ourselves now with a kid in the house. You have to be tired now, right? You've had to take care of Ren as well, so you need to take things easy. When I'm out of work today, I'll head right back to the hospital to see you.
Phil, why haven't I been able to get any money from you yet this month? Don't you dare tell me that that witch got into your head and told you to stop. That little disgusting witch telling you what to do with your money is not something any wife should do. You divorce her right now and come back to your mom.
Jeez, I've heard enough already from you. I've had more than enough reason for me to stop giving you any money.
Well, I want to know what those reasons are, and that's why I'm asking about it. Your older brother happens to be so charming, yet for some reason you keep making yourself look worse. Before I have to take matters into my own hands, please give me this month's money. You know that your father's body isn't that great anymore, and I myself am getting really old, and so we need that money to survive.
You're not my mom anymore.
Huh? Excuse me? Is that the right way to speak to your mother right now?
The only parent I have now is my dad. I don't give a crap about who you are.
Hold on, Phil. Why are you this upset with me? Phil, you reply to me right now. You frickin' witch. It's because of you that Phil has left me. He's never been the type of kid to ignore his own mother. What the hell could a brainless and toxic woman like you have done to him? I never did a single thing to him. All of that was what he wanted. Perhaps it's time you start to learn how to understand your own kids' feelings. Shut the hell up, you stupid rat! Whoever gets in the way of a mother and their son is the worst scum on this planet. It seems that you're a bit confused right now by everything, but I haven't done anything to get in the way of you two. After all, that money that's been going to support you every month has been coming from the money I make. Huh? For a long time now, Phil has been wanting to end ties with you because you've always cared about his older brother and wife the most. But then 3 years ago, just after we got married, it was found out that his father had cancer. It was said that his dad wouldn't be around too much longer, and so Phil decided that until the day came that his dad drew his last breath, he'd remain helping the family. And that's why for 3 years now, he's continued to be a part of the family. What are you talking about? How does that have anything to do with you guys giving me money every month? You're probably just trying to take us off topic so you don't have to give me anything, huh? I can't allow that. Is that what you think? Well, then I guess this conversation is over with. Even though you're supposed to be my son's wife, you're completely useless. I don't care to listen to whatever made-up stories you may have about my son. Go tell Phil to call me right now. Phil just threatened me by saying that if I don't listen to you, he's never going to think about giving us money ever again. Threatening his own parents? I never remember raising a son as awful as that. Come on now, Brianna, and let's finish this dang trouble you've started. He just blocked me again, and now I'll never be able to talk with him. Well, things won't change until you start listening. Your husband must be going through a lot now as well, right? I want you to talk to me right now, you toxic witch. If all you're going to do is keep saying random crap, I'll never be able to listen to you. Understood. So that you can follow what I'm about to say to you regarding where that money you get every month comes from, I'll go into detail. But just be aware that Phil is really upset right now. And he has been for 3 years. His dad can no longer work and be able to help you guys afford to get the procedures he needs. He needed to get you guys money. But when you'd always treat your own son like trash compared to your oldest, he couldn't find it in him to try his hardest for you and your husband. Now, after what you've done recently, he's really lost all faith in helping you both out. What? But the right thing to do is just keep giving us money, right? We're his parents, after all. That's right. When Phil thought about what happened if he stopped giving you guys money, he worried what his dad would have to go through. But Phil is a very nice guy, and so back in the day when he was first having trouble bringing himself to give you guys anything, he chose to be the nice person he knows he is and give you guys a monthly amount. However, after a while of that, he could no longer take you constantly ripping into me. And so I told him that in his place, I could start to support you, and maybe that'd help things for him. And so in his place, I've been the one giving you that money every month for maybe the past 2 years. Why the hell would you end up doing that? Well, if you had never given birth to Phil, I would have never been able to meet him and marry him. And so my plan has been, as long as Phil's dad is alive, I'll thank you by supporting you financially. But you've still hated me all this time and have started making me doubt you ever being a good influence on this family. Even after having my own baby, you came to him and told him to his face that he's ugly and that I am as well. And so after you'd done that, the little piece of respect I had for you as the mother of my husband was crushed. And that's why I am no longer giving you any money. Have you come to understand what's going on now? But if you go ahead and do that, what'll happen with my husband's treatments? We won't be able to do them anymore. Are you saying you'd be fine killing him? And regarding that, I had a discussion with Phil. He told me if this was all to protect our son, then ending the money given to you guys would be forgiven by his dad. And so that's the conclusion we came to. And in my case, I can understand how Phil feels about saying that. We have both been trying our best to deal with your horrible behavior towards us, but now we've reached our limits. There is nothing else we want more in this world than for you to learn from your mistakes. You're now going to experience all the resentment that we both have had towards you for so long, you old bag. What? Why would you use such needless vocabulary? Are you that upset? If I really was an old bag, it'd be one thing, but I'm not even close to one, so you can't just say that. You're an absolute rotten rat. You told my husband things you shouldn't have. Things I shouldn't have? When your husband came in to see our baby boy, I asked him if he wanted to know what you thought of our little wren. And when he said yes, I told him. And I'm saying you shouldn't have told him any of that. You should have been keeping your mouth quiet and just let my husband leave without a single word being said. Whether you wanted me to do something or not, and whether it makes me a bad person to you or not, I've already decided that you're going to pay for everything. So I'll do anything to ruin you. But it seems that your husband has caught on already to just how rotten of a bag you really are, right? Huh? Your husband told me. He said he knew that you would always show your love to your oldest son and his wife, and he tried to stop you. And when you both began to talk about divorce because of it, you threatened him by saying he'd never get to see his sons anymore. And so that's why today he came to us crying and begging for forgiveness. He told us he never wanted you to treat us so badly, but couldn't do anything to stop you. And now that he knows we understand him, he hates you just as much as we do. So that is why he's going to aid us in our revenge. There's no way my husband would ever lend a hand to a witch like you. He's my husband. He and I have been together longer than you've been alive. Well, if that's what you think is holding you both together, then go right ahead and keep thinking that. Doing that will only make things better for us. I'm looking forward to seeing what you could possibly do to me. What the hell is going on right now? What the hell are all these documents? What the hell are you trying to do to me? Ah, hi, Stacy. Seems they've finally arrived. I assumed that there would be some trouble ahead, and so I made sure to get a lawyer to make those up. As you can see by what's written on the papers, your husband's money will all be going to Phil and I after he passes. At least 90% of it will be. And that remaining 10% will then go to his oldest son and daughter-in-law. And as for you, you won't even get a single penny. His money? He's still alive, though, so why are you guys talking about the money he'll have after he dies? And if that's the case, I'm his wife and should get the money instead. You can't just do all of this behind my back and think to get away with it. I'm sure that these papers are all fakes anyway. All of that money he plans on giving after he passes is kept in accounts not related to your guys' marriage. And since he's the one that holds all that money that he's been saving up under his name, he can make the decision on where it will go. There's also been the fact that you only ever show interest in your oldest son and would sometimes leave your husband at home to fend for himself while struggling with cancer. So all of that has been included in his final decision. And since all of this was done through a lawyer that we had hired and those documents made official under your husband's signature, you nor your oldest can do anything about it. So there won't be any money left for me? There's no way! That's not even fair! Especially with the care that I did give him all these years. Who was the one that cared for him? You never cared for him, instead leaving him at home to become even more sick, and you'd whisper under your breath that you wanted him to give up soon. He heard all of that, you know? But he's a very kind man, and so he never wanted to end things this way with you. He wanted to make sure he could end life still being married to you. But after what you did to your grandson, he couldn't take it anymore. And so this right here is the work that was put in to get revenge on you by him. He at least gave up on ever wanting to divorce you. I'm sorry, but the only one that ever cared for your husband was Phil. What? Well, then what's going to happen to me? I won't be getting any money from you guys, and I won't get jack from my husband when he's gone. Well, then I guess you'll be out of luck. Stop messing around! Whatever. I'll just go and ask my oldest and his wife to care for me. I made sure to raise him the best and have been with them all the way. So of course they'll be willing to care for me in my time of need. Only if you can make that happen. Phil, it seems that your mom is following as planned and will be trying to get your older brother to help her. How are things there?
Things are going so well right now that I can't be bothered to look away. I'm good here. Just finishing some things up. After explaining the situation of my mom and dad to my brother, and letting him know he'd still at least get a little money, he hopped on board with us. But really, I didn't want him getting anything from my dad, that jerk. I always knew he was the kind of guy that wanted to get whatever he pleased, but man, this time's going to be great because of that. He's willing to literally throw away his mom for a little bit of money? He really did turn out like trash, just like his mom.
You've always had it out for those two, and I agree that your brother and mom are like two peas in a pod with how nasty of people they are.
Well, I'd never like anyone who always looked down on me and treated me as though I'm extra baggage in the family. I told him to block her number if he wanted the money, and so he did. And I told him that once Dad had passed, he'll be getting his share. Well, I'm not actually going to give it to him now.
Wait, are you sure? Won't your brother become even more of a problem if you do that to him?
It'll be fine. While we were young, he'd always take my toys from me and promise to give them back in an hour or two. But then when I'd come and ask for it back, he'd tell me to get lost and then keep the toy. So it's always been him breaking promises. So this time, I'll take it upon myself to, in fact, break one promise with him. I planned on just letting a lot of the past go with my brother, but then I found it too hard to do that after everything. And since my dad is the only thing keeping me around my mom and brother, once Dad's gone, I'm totally fine making my brother pay just as much as Mom will. I'm sorry. I guess some of my personal problems are getting caught up in our plans now.
You're all right, Paul. And even after your dad's gone, you'll have me and Ren as your new family. And since we're your family, we have no choice but to make sure you feel better too.
Thank you so much, Brianna.
Brianna, please help me! I can't get in touch with anyone anymore and I'm in huge trouble. If things keep going south for me, I'll be dead myself. I haven't had any experience working a job myself, and so nobody will take me that can pay me well enough. I don't even want to work anyway. I'll do anything for you as long as I get a little money. Stacy, I have myself a son now that's so cute, and I have to take care of him for the time being. And at the moment, I'm still a new mom, so I can't see myself having to take care of two babies. Also, you remember when you said my son looks like a monkey? You wouldn't want to be in a family with a boy that looks like a monkey, would you? And besides, I don't even want to meet with you anymore after you showed the kind of toxic mother you really are. Wait! You're wrong about that. That was... Back then I was just joking about your son. I never meant to be serious about anything I said to him. The only thing I picked up from you was how serious you really were. You're too late to be coming back to me now asking for anything anyway. Now, my little boy's going to be waking up soon, so can you stop talking to me? Now, goodbye forever. Wait, Brianna! What am I going to do now? What should I do to make sure that I'll be okay? Both my sons threw me away and my husband will be dying soon. I won't be getting anything from him after he's gone, and I still need to pay for the house and food. Hey, can you please give me anything? I'm asking you to please listen to me. After that, Stacy didn't get any money with the passing of her husband, and the house was given to Phil, which he used his power to kick her out of. I haven't spoken to her since our last conversation, so I can't be certain what's happened to her. But I did see her working at a supermarket not too long ago. But in her case, she was late to work a lot and missed work even more often, and soon was no longer working there. She then showed up at another store even closer to our house, and ever since seeing the worn out and dead face she had there, I am not going back. Then, when it comes to Phil's older brother, when he heard that his father had passed away and never heard anything from Phil regarding the money, He came to our house complaining about why no money showed up yet. Phil then explained to him that he doesn't get any, and that's for all the times he broke promises with Phil. Of course, this made him upset, but just before he tried to do anything to his brother, our lawyer, who we had over to finish some talks up with, came out and told him to rethink his decision. And since then, his brother has never been seen around us again. Now, when it comes to me, I'm just living with my husband and Ren, and we are making the best of our little family with what we have left.